What's up, chat? How we doing? Good evening. Miss K, Eldred, Vish, Umar, the Mudbutt. How y'all doing? What up, Simon? What up, Christopher? Sabrina. What up, KG? TCM, Shadow. What up, Cole? Dude, gold made a crazy rally. Crazy rally. What up, Zach? Bad day for me, minus 2R. Cole, the nice part about it, depending on your risk to reward, it takes one trade to make that back, right? And that's why we do what we do and how we do what we do. Today was the first time I tried futures. I was at work trying to figure things out. Ended up on an NQ long with a 50-point stop. Made good money, though. Didn't realize how minis move. Yeah, Zacho, especially in this market, if you're trading minis and you've never traded futures before, you're either going to be in a really good spot or a really bad spot rather quickly. Oh, wait, I want to trade this account. I want to trade this account. What up, crypto? How you doing, AXP? I was watching, dude. I was stalking a possible entry here. I saw this candle. I was like, yeah, no, I'm done for the day. I'm done. Dude, did anyone catch this? I know there's not a lot of people in chat yet, but please tell me some of you guys caught this. Somebody. I just gotta see what giveaway we're doing. Because I believe you guys have almost burned through the codes. Yeah, you guys burned through the 50K codes. So we have a 25K Tradeify growth today. 25K. I loaded 0 DTE QQQ. AXP, did you catch that rally? Or did you get in after that rally? Nope, got screwed by it though. Unfortunate, Vish. Call like 60 points, not bad. Was down 1,300 yesterday. That pump brought me back up 350. Damn, what a pump. Sorry to hear that, Eldred. HP, did you just say 10K to 500K in 3 minutes? Did you just say what I think you said? Like, am I reading that correctly? Can I borrow like a band? Is by borrow I mean just never give it back? Congratulations, brother. Goddamn, what a day for you. Zacho, you just go to WAP. If you do this, if you go to that link and use code STREAM at checkout, STREAM, it'll post in a second. It'll give you the 50% off still. XP, what do you mean you're done for the week, bro? You're done for the month at this point. 500 fucking bands. Yeah, you make that in a day with that kind of return. That's literally like a year maker. But that's also a good example of what Jake says, where most of the year's P&L typically comes from very few trades. And it's just trades like that. The reason I didn't say done for the year is because I know the size AXP trades in can make in a week. So the only reason I didn't say done for the year. Most people would be done for like a lifetime. Yeah, XP, what it sounds like is you probably just rolled profits on that point. As you catch those, you can just size up more throughout them. But no, I mean, flawless trade. That's crazy. It's that big of a return, but it makes sense on 0 DTEs. I would guess, I wouldn't even say you'd have to go decently out of the money because that was just an aggressive candle. So you're going to see a huge gamma squeeze there. I feel like with this volatility, looking for larger moves, the way to do it is with options. Yes, you can do it with futures if you get an absolute sniper entry. But with options, like you can get in here and get chopped out for a little bit and be fine. And then that rally will recover it. Same thing down here. So AXP is an insider. I think I'm starting to think so at this point. All right, Chad, we got a poll. Bro, I traded gold and did not realize how fast just one contract moves. Almost worse than minis. TZM, you traded gold micros? Dude, gold is bipolar. Gold is insanely bipolar. AXP, I'm heavily interested. And by order flow, do you mean just order flow in general with volume, or are you watching Gamma like Mitch? Because I'm decently interested in Gamma. I don't think I would actively like show it on stream. I'd probably just throw it on a side monitor if I did. Bro, speaking of Tesla, did you see how much Elon's net worth is going to go up off that IPO? Because that number is fucking nuts. People are going to tweak out when that IPOs. What up, Soul Shift? XP, that's how I usually am. I usually trade options towards the later half of the day, unless I'm in like swings. Alan, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I feel like, I mean, I have not seen a single person make a trading bot that works flawlessly. And I know a lot of people that have tried. So, I mean, to be fair, if you make one that genuinely works, I wouldn't sell it to a soul. I would ride that shit until I don't want to use it anymore and then try to like pawn it off to a hedge fund. But no, I saw that with SpaceX IPO, Elon's net worth is going to be up $880 billion, I think is his share of SpaceX based on the anticipated IPO. Amy and ICT look really good for long setups. If market starts recovering, those two will break all-time highs first. In my opinion, you should check them out. Yeah, AMD looks fine. The hard part is anticipating AMD to continue off this. I would rather see it get a monthly close like this, but it could easily rally, you know? I think we looked at INTC the other day from you. Yeah, INTC looks fire. Intel looks great. That is probably one of the cleanest daily charts we're going to have. in general. I haven't even looked at options yet. I should probably start looking at those for the rest of the week. By the rest of the week, I mean one day. So it did go long yesterday, but it never came down. Options are way better if you just wait. If you notice, Trump never tweets in the morning. He only does it after lunchtime. XP, he only does it after lunchtime and then in the after hours. So like around this time are the two main times that he pops off. He usually ignores market open. Yeah, I have noticed that. All right, chat. Let's start looking at some charts, shall we? NQ already tested yesterday's high. So did RTY. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah, looking at the dailies, we talked about these supports on ES and NQ. We came down pretty much into those, tested that. NQ obviously broke below it the past 3 days, but then is now pushed back above. RTY, if I get rid of this, you can see it retested this prior support already. Multiple times, continue to hold it. We talked about that as well. So all the indices were around these ranges. NQ obviously broke its a little bit. And now it's just a game of where's the weekly going to close? And that's what's going to matter here. Because the weekly is at a point where if we get a rally tomorrow, if we get that continuation, we can have a very strong weekly close. And then we're looking back at all-time highs within a week or two. Like if we close this up at the week high, this chart looks phenomenal. It does. Same thing with NQ. YM looks great. If it does, RTY already looks the strongest out of all of them. It's already almost back at all-time highs, which is kind of crazy. Look, the 4-hour chart. My biggest area of interest on ES is going to be 74.20s, which is today's highs, but also a bigger pivot that we've been paying attention to. This has been on the chart since Monday's session. So we've been watching this level for a while. Even the levels we talked about the past few days, the areas of interest, you can see how well we've continued to respect those. Obviously, this one's not getting respected as much, except for during last night's session. Low of the day was that 72.65 area. Rallied right into our other resistance, retested back into this one, and then pushed all the way up into the high one. So and by the way, these are drawn off 15-minute pivots that we've done. I've shown you guys exactly when and how I've drawn these on stream. And you can just see how well doing something that simplistic can work out. Just pay attention to a time frame pivot on a certain chart, and usually it'll respect it at some point. Looking at the 4-hour. If we get over today's highs, I'd be interested in a rally up towards 74.70. Get us up towards the prior 4-hour highs. Get that strength pushing up into these wicks and this little candle body high. That's a solid resistance that we could, if we end the week there, is a very strong weekly candle. NQ, we're not far from it on its resistance. It's about 150 to 200 points ish, right around that like 29,700 to like 740s. And then RTY is obviously aggressively strong. Same with YM. YM would be up around 51 240s. Now the thing for me is just how are we going to react during this time frame that we're trading? As long as we can hold above the open, I think longs are in play. The problem is after this type of volatility, we might get the shit end of the stick with some consolidation. We might. And it might be more of that just straight sideways kind of range bound action stream. We'll probably have to see how Asia reacts and go off of that. But if we can get above 74.20s, I love longs. And if we can just continue consolidating here, hold the supports, I think we can attempt some stabs with just a stop off the pivot wherever we get in. Maybe even halfway towards the open. If we get back below the open, then I'm a little more cautious and there might be a wider range we can trade to the downside. What up, Most Fab? Yeah, Beck, all these pivots are the ones I've drawn on stream on the 15-minute chart. And you can look exactly where they're from. And that's why I put it that way. It only marks it to the right side, so we know exactly where they're from. So I've drawn these on stream every single day. And it's just simply based off of where we've pivoted. You can see how well they're respecting so far. Because when you look at 15-minute pivots, the broader 15-minute pivots are going to be hourly pivots. You go to the hourly, you can see how well we respect them. You go to the 4-hour, there's going to be a few we respected as well. So when you find the broader pivots, they're going to line up across multiple time frames. And that's when I find the strongest areas to pay attention to. Getting some NQ longs. No, Gael. No. Problem is, NQ's already 100 points away from the open. I'm not opposed to long stabs, for sure. 15-minute, kind of failure to go lower, more so a wick. I just don't know if we're going to get clean trending price action like this, but we'll see. The hardest part is when we move that aggressive during the end of New York, we're going to consolidate for a time period, and normally Asia gets the brunt of it. XP, you're talking Tesla? You think Tesla goes 450 tomorrow? That would be fucking insane. I mean, Tesla chart does look phenomenal. If it holds this support. If it holds the support, wholeheartedly agree. It can make a nice move. 450 might be a little nuts, but it's possible. SpaceX IPOs tomorrow, doesn't it? Isn't there actual listing tomorrow? Are you on anything? No, Abraham, not yet. You'll know if I am because you'll see the P&L below my name. That's why it's there. SpaceX is tomorrow. So yeah, Tesla will probably get some love off of it. Dude, that's crazy. Elon's going to be a trillionaire tomorrow. It's nuts to think about. You're trying to short oil? I didn't even look at oil and gold yet. What's crazy is oil has been in this range since mid-March and has not broken out of it in either direction. The problem is here, for any good risk to reward, you would need us to easily break above today's highs. And we would need a pretty aggressive push above that. Could you throw something on? And I'm not taking this yet. I'm just throwing this. Let's say you want to stop around the open. You're looking at 14-point stop for any type of reasonable risk to reward, even to the high of day is 7 points, 8 points. So you would need to blow off the top. For any reasonable. Where'd that go? There it is. Yeah, you're a trillionaire. You just haven't told anyone. Is that why you're on prop firms? Makes sense, AXP. Tesla's one of those names that can easily make like a 15 to 20% move without even blinking an eye. within 1 to 2 days. That's just something that Tesla can like do without any hesitation. It's one of those names, like Tesla and Snow are two of the big ones that do that a lot. What up, Tay? If we get down to retest the open, I'd like to see how we react to that for possible longs. If it's going to play out, if we hold this range. Look for the move back into the open for the most part. Get a more aggressive buying pressure once we test it. The thing is, I could, like this chart, if this is a 5-minute chart, it makes sense to sit sideways for 3 candles. And that is just quite unfortunate if it does. Quite unfortunate. I don't know if I see an index or oil or gold that like desperately stands out at the moment. There'll probably be opportunity at some point, but right now I don't see anything that stands out like, hell yeah, I need to try to get in this. Gael, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, TCM, same area. This low to like the open. The problem is if we get down there, no, the hourly looks fine. Yeah, it just doesn't look phenomenal for something right out the gate. It's gonna be a lot of patience early on. I'll start a prop firm with it. You can buy my evals and keep blowing them. Infinite money glitch. AXP giveaway time. We are 22 minutes into the stream. If you guys get 150 likes that quick, I'll do it. We only have 42. Yeah, it's Thursday, brother. I'm guessing it's Friday where you are. Dude, imagine chat, like those that were in the early stream know what AXP made, and AXP wins the giveaway account. He wins a 25K giveaway account where he has like $1,200 in drawdown. If I win, I will give it away. Oh yeah, AXP, I feel like you would have done that from the beginning. You just want to win. Let's see if we can get that pullback. It's looking like it wants it so far. Always losing giveaways. I mean, it's not easy. You have minimum like 130 people in each giveaway. And what's crazy is there's been people that have won twice. We haven't given them the account, but there's been like 10 people that have won twice. The interesting part is that NQ's already tested yesterday's high and rejected it. Asia session's been hard to get a read on. Yes and no. I feel like we've just gotten a lot of sideways in the early Asia session. Because even if we get these bigger moves, they're reversing throughout this entire week. Like Tuesday, all sideways. Monday, wider range. Opportunity, but wider range. Sunday, we started out with a really wide ass range, then got a little bit of continuation towards the end of stream. But this whole week, New York is just, even New York's been range bound, but New York range bound is 600 to 1,000 points on NQ. What up, Tiffany? New York been hard too. New York's just been a lot of wide stop and hope you catch the trend. Because if you do, you're up a bag. Gael, these are the conditions where those who are patient will make a shitload of money. And those who are struggling, even not even struggling, but still learning, will get slaughtered. Because we went from a time where 3 to 5 points on ES for a stop was possible on almost every setup. Now 10 points is sometimes reasonable. So stops are doubling. People are mainly still using the exact same size they were. And that's where a lot of people blow up. Because they try to squeeze the stop to be as tight as possible, which means they'll try to snipe entries. And you can't do that a lot in this market. Because you can try to snipe entries, but with the volatility we get, you're going to get wicked out at times. And that's just the current conditions we're in. Did I see Jake's gold trade? I did, but I don't remember exactly where it was. Let's see. Gold, 958. I mean, it's pretty clear. There's a decent resistance right here around 114s on gold. He saw the failure above the highs, looking for the move back towards the overnight lows, or at least the lows from pre-market. Beautiful setup, beautiful trade. I think it's a pretty straightforward trade, especially at New York Open. Oil still staying weak, really struggling to get much buying pressure. I don't know if we're going to get all the way to the Open, but I'd love it if we can. What up, Tati? I'm doing great. How you doing? Yeah, Christopher, I mean, you guys have even seen me do it. I'm using lower size. Normally, I'm fine using 15 micros on MES if I'm trading it during the Asia session. I've been using 6 to 8 the past 2 days, just so I can use those wider stops. And you guys have seen how much that can even return. I mean, the one day we made, what, $1,200 off of it? Yeah, Cole, it's just when you're trading the New York Open, you have to be aggressive at times. And that's what I wouldn't even say that trade was aggressive. It's just seeing a setup that you genuinely want, waiting for that to kind of test, and then you just take it. It looked like he was trading off the resistance there. There might have been a level there as well. I just don't have it marked. AXP, a lot of people don't pay attention to VIX. Especially with options too. If you like paying attention to VIX, because what people will do is, let's say they're trading $2 SPY contracts. When VIX makes a $7 move and it's this low and it's up 50% off the lows, those $2 contracts are now going to be $4 to $5 at times. And you have to just trade the exact same contract. What a lot of people will do is go farther out of the money to get those cheaper contracts again. And that's what will get crushed on options. What up, Sir Brian? Agreed, Tiffany. XP trades 5 to 7 minis and switch to MNQ. That should say what we need to know. I don't know if we're going to get the open. I don't know if we're going to get it. This hourly candle would make a lot of sense to be an inside bar with a lower wick. And then we can look to see if we can break the session highs to get that continuation. That'd be like Dream World setup. See that hourly close slightly red with a little bit of a lower wick, and then we can look for that possible hourly 3-bar play. A lot of people don't know shit like me, so it makes sense. Yeah, Vish, a lot of us should learn from experience. And in the past, I mean, there's been multiple times when VIX has skyrocketed to 30, 40, and you have to trade 3 micros when you're used to trading a mini and a half just based off the volatility. What up, Moon? Oh, by the way, chat, my mom she ordered me a birthday present. One of them, and it got here early, apparently. It was supposed to get here like Tuesday, when my actual birthday is. And it showed up early, and I got a tree. And it's kind of sick. Look at this motherfucker. The funny thing is, so it's kind of sick. But I guess it's native to Mexico. But the reason she got it for me is it's called a money tree. Apparently it's supposed to be like good luck and prosperity or something. But dude, it's sick. It's legal. Yeah, yeah. Are there illegal trees? But no, it's literally called the money tree. When she told me that, because it was before I opened it, I thought it was going to be one of those like gimmick trees where there's a bunch of bills on it. But no, that's the actual name of it. You want to put that near a door? It's meant to bring you wealth. It's a cocaine tree. It's illegal. No, Vish. No. Even if it was, it's not illegal. It's only illegal if you get caught. Elder, can I leave it near a window so it can get sunlight? Because my door don't get much light. But yeah, no, that's the background of it. And it's like a self-watering thing, so I have to water it once a month, which is sick. Because if not, it'd probably die. Yeah, XP, that's the funny thing is as we're coming into quad witching for the quarter, a lot of people are looking at the wars, the biggest news we sold off. It's going to be a lot of funds taking profits to lock in their quarterly profits in general. Everyone wants their bonuses in the market. Yeah, Elder, I figured it would. The only thing is if it grows towards the window, should I like start to rotate it? Or do I just let it grow to the window? I like how the base of it, I don't know if you guys saw, but the base is like all twisted together with a bunch of different branches. Well, stems. What up, Com? Hey, Miller, more bullish than bearish. I feel like it's pretty damn hard to short this chart. I think especially right after this move. If the short's going to come, it's going to be a wider consolidation, and then we're going to end up breaking afterwards. So I don't see shorts personally, especially because we have a massive support right here around 395, 400-ish. Yeah, Eldred, I might have accidentally watered it wrong already. So I'm just not going to water it for a while and hope for the best. If I kill the money tree month 1, dude, I don't deserve a tree, any plants ever. Yeah, Miller, I'm looking for around there. If we can retest the open, I'll take a stab at longs fully without hesitation. Fake plants are the play. They are, but then it's a fake plant. You gotta have a real plant. So you actually gotta have something to take care of a little bit. The problem is we have cats that love to murder any plants in existence. Yeah, Vis, I can see if you're like scalping shorts, then yeah, there's definitely going to be opportunity. It's just hard for me to see a broader short here. If we break below like 390s and get a retest from below, then maybe there's an opportunity. But I think a lot of us are waiting for a test down in this area a little bit for some type of stab. At least what I'm reading off of chat. Seems like a lot of people are waiting for a little bit more of a pullback for a possible entry. It's going to be unfortunate if we don't get it. Because it looks like we might not. Yeah, Alan, that would be my upside. If we get above today's highs, consolidate up here, I'd be open to entries as well. So either a little bit bigger of a pullback, or we get up towards the highs, build even just a slight consolidation or a retest, I'll be interested. So those are the two kind of theses I'm looking at. Gold's fighting its open. I know someone here is trying to long that between this like 230 and 240 area. One of you little gold fiends are trying to long. Oil's holding a little bit. Trying to do the giveaway without me. AXP, if we get the likes, you better just show back up. You should be good. The giveaway right now that AXP left. What up, Steve? How you doing, brother? How'd you make out today? Slight green. I actually caught some of the long last night after stream. Where was it? I think it was here. I caught from like here up to 304s. Like 300, 304. Somewhere in that area I took my profits. Yeah, I caught a little bit after that. That account closed slight green on the day. Then I traded another one during New York. I didn't make a crazy amount. It was like 2.7R. TCM, what's 3R? Did I miss another message from you? I don't think I did. No. Yeah, Steve, this week I've just been trading slower. If I can let a few runners run, that's what I'm trying to focus on. I'm not looking for like crazy big size home runs. I've been trading a lot of 6 to 8 micros this week, which has been doing well. I like it a lot. Because you can still make exponential amount of money off a few micros in this kind of market. Anyways, chat, how'd the rest of you guys do today? I saw on stream, everyone was crushing it. I saw this pop off right at the end of Mitch's stream, which was kind of nuts. Helps with the heart palpitations? Nah, those are normal in trading. What up, Michael? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the stream. If you have any questions, let me know. Because there's a lot going on with the stream. Actually, for those of you that are new, this is Project 365. There's 5 hosts total. Me, Alan, Jake, Mitch, and Christian. We stream throughout the entire day. So we call it 24 hours, but it's like split up. I think it comes down to like probably 11 hours a day for all of us. And then we stream sometimes on Saturdays as well. Just a little mid-weekend recap. What up, Jono? Familiar, I trade New York as well. Asia's the primary session I trade personally. And New York, I trade mainly like midday, mid to end of day. I don't trade in the morning. How do you choose your stop placement? Off of structure. So usually just off of the recent low or support that I think we shouldn't break if this is going to continue. Why so? I like the price action a lot during the overnight session. Because it gives you, like, I'm a patient trader. And this session, if you're patient, can provide a lot of exponential entries. Just some days you won't get it. Some days you'll get a wider range. Those you can look to either scalp or just not trade. And by scalp, for me, it's like 30-minute trades. But I look for larger trades during the session that I can potentially hold overnight if I think it'll continue. And then I just don't like New York Open because of the volatility. A lot of people love the over volatile price action. I've just been crushed a lot trying to trade at the open with the spikes. So I usually wait till that chills out. Start trading at like 11, 30, 12-ish. Yeah, Michael, I would either do that or just skip the initial first 30 minutes to an hour. Wait till it chills out a little bit. Because most of the time, there's some type of reversal or decent move on the indices between like 11 and 1 during the New York session. And that's Eastern. How would you trade this if price cannot get to the open? Abraham, I mentioned a few minutes ago. Upwards towards 420, a little brief consolidation up here to just show that we're going to hold. Like, let's say we get up to 420. Maybe retest 415s from above. So basically the session highs. Look for that long there and see if that plays out that way. Just looking for a higher low at that point. Because right now we're in a consolidation. We're a little more sideways. I wanted this to pull back just a little bit more. Like if we got to 400 or even the open, I'd be looking for possible entries, but we didn't get that yet. Gold's still a little stagnant. Oil sideways as well. Yeah, the consolidation makes sense. We made it a crazy move during New York. Morningwood, I use multi-time frame analysis. When I'm looking at executions, it's going to be the 5 and 15 minute. So normally for those, like execution-wise, those are going to be what I'm paying attention to. Sometimes I'll go to the 2 minute for a better entry in general. If I'm looking at it and going, all right, I'll start flipping here. Like if I'm just trying to dial into an exact candle, which I've done the past few days, go to the 2, see what it's doing, and then trade off of that. I am noticing volume is a little lower today just based off candle structure because we are getting little gaps on the 2 minute here. So we'll see if that picks up as we get closer to Asia. Times the market actually get volume to trade. It can be different. There's times, 6 to 8 p.m. will have volatility. That's more of a rarity. But 8 p.m. Eastern, you have the Asia Open. 9 p.m. Eastern, you have Tokyo Open. So those two time frames, you normally get some type of volatility, which picks up a decent amount. So in like 15 minutes. Steve, you got in at 72.97 or 79. Did you get in here, Steve? Because if you got in before this candle, brother, GG's. You really can't ask for more than that. Fucking beautiful. Beautiful. What up, Mike? Steve, what do you mean you got booted for consistency? Oh, you set the lockout feature on your account. Hell yeah. That's a good day. That's a great day. Does Alan trade similar to you? Not really. I mean, the way me and Alan trade similar is going to be the range aspects, where we get these little channels that we trade and we trade off of those. So that's a similarity between me and Alan just from watching his streams. He does take more so like 1-to-1, 1-to-2 hour trades at times, where for me, a 1-to-1, I usually just sit on my hands for the most part, which is fine. And I think that's where Alan really excels too, because Alan compounds off those 1-to-1 trades a lot, which sets him up for the other trades as well. But no, I copy trade a little bit. Alan doesn't copy trade at all. I mean, I wouldn't say me and Alan trade similar, but there's some similarities. But no, Steve, how sick is that lockout rule? It has saved me an exponential amount of time. Familiar right now, I am on prop firms. I'm on funded accounts. I plan on making a live account. I just haven't done it yet. I was thinking about doing it throughout like next week, throwing like $2,000 in a live account or something, just running that for a little bit. Chris is in at 29,526. Nice entry. You get in right off that 5-minute, basically. Yeah, you got in on that 5-minute. You got in on that 5-minute trigger. Beautiful. Nice entry. I'm actually kind of shocked the poll is only 48% bullish. But there's also 30% of people saying they don't know shit about Flux. So, you know, that kind of skews the results a little bit. Probably should have left that one out there. Beautiful, Steve. Mike, what do you need me to look at DM wise? Is it like something relevant right this second, or you mean after stream? Nick, my man, they made my day. Can't stand for Alan, learning so much from you every stream. My friend Lindsay told me you're the GOAT and she wasn't lying. It means a lot, brother. That means a lot. Anytime, no hurry, bet. I've yet to get my first payout, but I went through like 5 evals so far, and I'm still kind of working on that funded account goal. Any advice? I came close to passing, but failed off revenge trading. Familiar, there's a few perspectives you can look at it with. A good one would be looking at prop firms from like a business mindset. And especially if you're more business mindset based, that makes a lot more sense. And what I mean by that is you've taken 5 accounts so far. A lot of people look at that as, oh my God, I blew 5 accounts. I look at it as more of a cost basis. So your cost basis is probably around like $500, which is fine. So in theory, you still have a positive risk reward in general if you're working up towards that payout once you get it. So I wouldn't rush it. I wouldn't panic or anything like that. But if you're blowing 5 accounts, I would likely just try to size a little smaller. I would. And a lot of people benefit off that more than you would think. Because people get evals and they try to be more aggressive with them and pass them immediately. It works for some, but you're going to have a drastically higher cost basis if you rush it, which is how it goes. Especially if you're trying to get your first payout. It's going to take time. It is. No matter what you do, whether you're blowing accounts or you're trading smaller size, it will take time. But if you came close to passing, then you know you can win trades. You can do fine. A lot of it is simply just sizing. If you give yourself, let's say 10 losses to blow the account. So on a $50K, $200 loss limit on a trade, the likelihood of you losing 10 trades in a row and not having a winner over, let's say 2R is going to be slimmer if you kind of know what you're doing. So that's where you can get the little bonus effect there. Chris, I feel like I've heard of wealth charts, but I don't know exactly what that is or what champion trend is. I blew 20. Yeah, dude, there's people that I know people that blew hundreds before getting a payout. Hundreds. I mean, that was on Apex and they were trading 20 accounts at a time, but I know like and I feel like social media is skewing this a lot. People think when they get onto prop firms, they need to get a payout within the first month or first 2 months. The likelihood of that is pretty damn low unless you genuinely know what you're doing as a trader. Most people, I know people that it took a year to get a payout, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right? We're learning. It's going to take time to perfect the craft. Agreed, crypto. A lot of people just try to rush it. Familiar. What size account are you on? And how long have you been trading or trading prop firms? Because this could be a good topic. Familiar, especially in this market, what I would recommend is staying away from NQ. You can trade MNQ, but I'm talking a few micros on a 50K. If you're trading minis in this market while also trying to get your first funded account and first payout, you're likely going to get clapped over and over. Because just the volatility in general. I mean, especially if you're trading New York session. New York, you look at any little 5-minute candle, like this one on NQ. That's 150 points on a 5-minute candle before the volatility even kicked in. That's $3,000 on one NQ contract. That is way too aggressive size. Unless you are just an absolute sniper somehow or scalping. What up, Smokey? What up, IAG? But no, trust me, if you're, so let's see. You said you tried trading ES and NQ instead of micros. I get impatient and then it all goes downhill. Patience is the number one thing in trading. It is. You'll see it a lot on my stream. You'll see it on the Melly stream. Jake at times as well. Alan, Mitch, all of us are patient. And that's the key thing. If you sit here and just rush setups, because let's say I wanted a long and I wanted an extreme rally. I could have longed here, gotten stopped. I could have longed here, gotten stopped. Now I'm already in big drawdown on the day. By the time I catch, let's say this long, I'm break even when it finally gets that trade. It's when you're impatient, you're taking multiple stabs, forcing trades that aren't really there is when you're going to get cooked, especially on minis. Yeah, a lot of people trade NQ and cook their accounts and don't realize that their trading isn't the reason they're really cooking their accounts. It's the fact that they're trying to rip NQ over and over and over and over. Jake is fantastic, but patient I can't abide by. Fair point. He's patient a lot of times for like certain types of entries, but he's really good at finding those entries, and those entries usually come from like the 1 or 2 minute, mainly the 2 minute, which come quick at the open. You made your first payout last week after blowing 5 accounts? Hell yeah, Dipe. Wait, Dipe. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm definitely going to mess that up if I try. Got it, Chris. TCM, agreed. A lot of people, even with micros, especially with how MNQ trades at the moment, when you get those random wicks on lower volume, those will just destroy your account. But no, that's why I love trading ES. Did I miss it? Yeah, AXP, we ran it just that way you weren't here. But no, familiar, wholeheartedly, either if you want to trade NQ, try a few micros, or stick to ES. Because you're going to get less volatility, but the same clean structure overall on ES. And it's a lot more liquid, right? It's the most liquid asset in the entire market. So the trend is pretty smooth on it when it moves. Tradeovate or TradingView accounts better. I use Tradeovate simply because I don't want to trade on TradingView. Hey Miller, if I understand what you're saying, I do the exact same thing. I usually trade one account until I get a payout, then I use that to get more evals to work on compounding and working towards more funded accounts on that. I think it's the greatest way to do it because your cost basis is low until you prove that you can get a payout, and then you scale up with it to increase that cost basis overall. Two minutes. Yeah, we got Asia open in 30 seconds, guys. See where that brings us. Hell yeah, Jimbo. Jimbo, I would assume you may be behind on stream, but hell yeah. I have no clue how big the money tree will grow, to be honest. What platform are you using? Trading-wise? Tradeovate. Broker-wise? Tradeify and Lucid for me. I don't know why you don't just buy the funded accounts. They cost a decent bit more, but save time with evals. TCM, you can look at it that way. My perspective on it is if someone is struggling to pass an eval, why would they buy a funded, like straight to funded for 5 times the price, you know? Because if they can't get funded, they're not going to be able to get a payout right away either. And also the consistency rules are honestly horrible on straight to funded accounts. Most straight to funded accounts are 20% consistency. And that is awful. Because you can't let any trade run at all unless you're trading 3 micros. So I don't like the rules on them. So I will never buy a straight to funded. It's also why we don't give away straight to funded accounts. So we're getting a bit more of a pullback here on the range. See if oil can get up to the open as ES comes down to its open. Because we should have got a decent hourly close there. We did, not bad. 15-minute definitely rejected the highs of the range. I would love like 400 to 397s. Well, yeah, visionary. Every prop firm will cap you on payouts, but yeah, I don't like the straight to funded rules personally. Hey Miller, if you're max allocated, I would honestly look towards Lucid Flex accounts because the rules on them, you have consistency on the eval, which is similar to TPT, but there's no consistency on the funded. So you just need to make $150 for 5 days, and then whatever profits you have, you can withdraw like 50% of them. So if you make and there's a 2K cap on payout. So if you make $4,000, you can get $2,000. And I'm talking about a 50K account. But I would look towards Lucid Flex. Check out those rules and then check out Tradeify Select, 5-day payout, or you can do daily payouts on Select. So those are the two accounts I would kind of compare. See which one you like more. No problem. No, Red, nothing's wrong with 3 micros at all. At all. I don't like that they cap the consistency at 20%. I think that's way too low. The straight to funded is going to be an account that, yes, you just trade slower in general, but I would rather trade an eval slower and then get to the funded aspect and be able to trade the funded account how I want to trade it. I want to be able to let trades go. If I have a really nice setup that I love, I want to be able to size in a little bit and not really worry about it. Like if you have a 20% consistency, and let's say instead of the, $600 you have to make on a 50K for that consistency, you make an extra 400, you now have to make $2,000 more just to get a payout. I don't like that part of it. Whereas with the growths, even though it's 35%, it's not as drastic of a shift if you make a little bit extra. So it's just little things like that that I pay attention to in the rules when I'm picking accounts. Yeah, Jello, and I just think the straight to funded aren't worth it for a lot of traders because a lot of people struggle to get the payout, right? That's their goal. And talking about the cost basis aspect, one account's $500, $350 to $500. If you make it on the first one, you pay $500 to get $1,500 or $2,000, depending on the prop firm. Where that now opens up the potential for the same dollar amount, you have a chance at 5 evals. And most people aren't overly stressed on time to get a payout as soon as humanly possible. At least they shouldn't be. If you're new to trading, I smoked this week. Welcome to the first 2 weeks of trading. AXP, ain't that the truth? Or first 2 years of trading. Those are nice, lucid. They are. Agreed, Mike. By the way, chat, who remembers, 2 weeks ago? Honestly, over the past probably 3 weeks, when we were up near the highs, starting to see a bit more of a consolidation. And the one thing that we talked about was the possibility of, instead of like just one aggressive pullback, we see that 2022 volatility. And I feel like we're getting exactly that. Because if you go back towards like 2022, where was it, here? Where you get these harsh volatile moves down, followed by just massive reversive candles, and then you just sit in these wide ass ranges the entire time. I feel like this is the exact same price action we're getting at the moment. I don't know if we're going to get the open. And that kind of sucks. I don't know if we're going to get it. Gold's still struggling. Oil's still struggling. The one thing I really don't want to do is just get in at the middle of this range right next to the resistance. If we can build a consolidation up here, I'm open to it. Like just above yesterday's high would be ideal. NQ has that nice relative strength. GC with a full 15-minute outside bar is interesting. Hourly little failure to go lower, trying to set up. Oil still waiting to see if it goes up and tests the open, in which we can look for that rejection. Chris, you're straight degen. So when you enter, you automatically have a stop that sets and it goes to break even at 20 ticks. Doesn't have Memorial Day half gap. Yeah, we're sitting right around this area on NQ. Because my problem is we just have a massive overhead resistance. I just think this session is likely, so far we're right that it's going to be boring, but we'll see if it continues that way or not. I still think there's a good opportunity for longs. It's just the big question we all don't know. When? When is the time that it's actually going to give us like the setup that I kind of would like to see for longs that makes it worth the trade? We're not there yet. Then when it dumps, you just push the bid. Interesting. So you more of a like super scalper, Chris? Like you're just genuinely looking for scalps with the most part? Chat, you guys did anything, by the way? Break even offset as well with a $5 profit. So you're covering your commissions on that, I would assume. I know a few people who do that, and it's interesting to me. Nice, Chris. Nope. Yeah, I figured a lot of people are probably sidelined. if they didn't take some type of long entry down at that last retest. Something that's interesting is we do have RTY and YM looking a little bit weaker here. If those do continue to fight like yesterday's high and YM stays around the open, we might get that bit of a pullback. I'm still not convinced that we're just going to rip through yesterday's highs yet. Longs from Globex. Oh, so Alan, you got in right near the open. You in NQ? If you're in NQ, you're setting up pretty. If you go to May 22nd, you'll see the gap on the daily. Oh, okay. Yeah. Right here. Yeah, I see it. Main thing is, though, we're fighting this prior all-time high. We're right around it, which is where we're currently struggling a little bit. Nervous Gator, take it slow, brother. You'll be good. Just take her slow. My favorite thing to do when I'm that close to passing something is find a trade where, let's say I'm risking $100, maybe even like 75. Make sure if the trade works, it's going to make probably like 200 at target, and then set a lockout parameter where you need to get you out of that account that would pass it. And then throughout the trade, as it's working in your favor, and obviously wait for a really good trade, it'll just kick you out and you have no clue at what point it will. That is one of my favorite things to do when I'm close to either getting a payout, trying to log a day for consistency reasons, or just trying to get that pass. You don't have to do it, but that's just what I do personally. Because then you enter and you're like, all right, well, even if a part of this trade works, like even if half of it works or 3/4, I'm out. And you're not stressing, because a lot of people will stress at that time trying to snipe the exact time where they get out of a trade. And then next thing you know, they still need $5 to pass, or they still need $2 to pass. And then they're sitting there trying to scalp like 1 micro to pass. I always put mine like $10 to $20 over the limit that I need to pass. It's looking like we might get a bit of a pullback here. Get a little bit of a weaker 15, 5-minute failure to go higher, just triggered right there. I'm not in, I'm just drawing this. Wouldn't be a little bad risk to reward. Memorial Day doesn't print a daily candle, but it adds it to the Monday candle. Love it, Alan. Alan, you like an ES a lot more than NQ? Or did you just block yourself for today? Nice, Chris. Yeah, it's a good strategy to have multiple accounts that you can end up rotating between. Elder, what do you mean? Let me check something on my phone real quick. Yeah, we're good. Never mind. YouTube gave me some random pop-up, so I'm just making sure everything's good. I want to see what we did today where we pumped, dumped, created the H pattern to move up. You want to see this, Aldred? I only trade ES personally. Miller, that's the main thing that I'm getting back into trading. I used to only trade ES. Then I'll occasionally trade YM and oil. But lately this week, I've just been primarily trading the S&Ps. I like it a lot more. So now I trade MES since watching your stream. Chat, we got another one. We got another former NQer trading the ES. That's got to be like, what, 7 people now? Somewhere around there. Love it. I'm building a little cult. A lot of people don't believe it, but the grass is slightly greener on this side. It is. I'm looking for sells currently. I can see it. I mean, I just drew that potential out. I could see it playing out. I would like it down to the open. Thing is, though, if we get more aggressive for it, we'll see. What up, PT? How you doing, brother? Sell yen, free best trade. I don't think a lot of people trade dollars here. Like, I don't think a lot of people are trading the financial markets. Some might, but I believe that's what, like, you need to be trading Forex to do that. Or what, CFDs. Long buys, Gamma, for the most part, I'm mainly looking to see if we can get a pullback into the open to get a retest. That would be like Dream World setup. Because then what it would do as you're looking at the hourly, we would get a spike below the prior hourly low. If we get buying pressure back up above it, we now have that hourly little fail to go lower. As well as it'd be like a 15-minute retest and possible low set. We're just doing exactly what we thought we'd do from the beginning of stream. Where we ain't moving. Type yen, all prop firms work. Really? Oh, yeah. How do you look up yen on? Just do this. Dude, the yen's been getting smoked. Interesting. Does anyone feel bullish on NQ? Yeah, I guarantee you people are bullish on NQ. The poll went all the way down to 50% bearish now, but it's a lot of people clicking that they don't know shit about fuck. So, you know, kind of what we expect here. A lot of sideways range. There's a reason we're being patient, and you can see exactly why on the chart. It's kind of just anticipated. There's a lot of uncertainty going on as well, especially after the large rally. You got me trading CL. Alan has me trading GC. Hell yeah, 1 HP. I would love to trade oil again, but it just hasn't been doing a whole lot. I mean, it has been, but it's mainly news related. Yeah, Gamma, I would like to see that pullback on ES if we can get down towards the open. I might be open to trying like a scalp trade towards it. I don't know though. Right. If you see a DXY spike, then you would anticipate the indices to go lower in that case. Because generally there's a negative correlation between them. If there's not, it'll just be a day where there's not that correlation. But most of the time, you're going to see a negative correlation play out between them. What up, Ali? Familiar, in the afternoons, I'm around my computer a decent amount, especially after stream. Even if it's just me just doing some work or gaming with my buddy, I'll have charts up either way. And if I see something I love, then I'll focus on the charts more so and just look to trade that. And usually till like 2 o'clock at the latest. If I don't see anything by 2, I'm like, all right, I gotta go to bed and actually get some sleep. But then there's times I'll be up if I'm in a trade that I like, and I'll watch it till like 3, 4 in the morning. Not always, but just when it gets there. Yeah, anywhere between 7 to like 1, 2 a.m. I'm open to be interested in trading. The key aspect for me is looking at the 4-hour chart. If the 4-hour doesn't look like it has some type of potential after stream, which closes this candle like the 10-hour close or 10 p.m. close, if it's not something I love, I close charts. There's no point. I always pay attention to the 4-hour for the most part, just see if there's enough conviction. You mean 2 a.m.? Yeah, what did I say? 2 p.m.? One HP, that's because there's a lot of war news and uncertainty going on. So yeah, when a lot of shit's hitting the fan, but also right now, I wouldn't say it diverged. Oil sold off a decent amount. Well, NQ, no, that's correlated exactly how you'd anticipate. Nope. NQ rallied just under 5%, while oil sold off 10%. No, that's kind of what you'd expect. If you're focusing on the lower time frames, it's not always going to correlate perfectly. Well, negatively correlate, but yeah. PT, that's something that I don't know the exact answer to. I don't pay attention to bonds a lot. No, familiar. It's during the Asia market. So the volume's decent during that time. It's actually better than between like 6 to 8 p.m. So the volume's a lot better that late as well. From now to then, the volume's decent if we're getting trends. And then around like 2 a.m., you're getting into pre-London. So you get volume there as well. When equities don't pay, moving to currencies, bonds, gold, money is float. Equities can pay both directions. So I always just trade equities. I'll trade oil as well. But for me, no, I'm always paying attention to the indices. Even if they don't pay, it's just going to be a few hours of range, and then they'll get a trend. There's always going to be a trend in one way or another on the indices that you can trade. And if it doesn't look great, I just don't trade. I got no problem with that. I want less assets to trade, not more. I personally don't want a basket of like 15 things on futures that I can trade. And I've talked about that as well with the single stock futures coming out. It's not something I'm dying to trade on futures. It's really not. I think it'll bring a lot of interest, but it's not something I'm like really looking forward to getting into. How about H1? That's the... Wait, what's H1? The Atlanta monthly futures? Is that what you're talking about? No. Okay. What do you trade the most out of all these four? ES, so the S&P 500. And then if I'm trading the YM, I'm usually looking for bigger swings overnight, like probably 500 to like 1,000 potential points on it if I'm taking the YM. Ollie, I don't know, because he was talking about different assets, not time frames though. So I don't think it's the hourly. No, for me, ES has been my bread and butter. I've traded it more than anything else in the market. Yeah, chat, later on stream, we will be doing an account giveaway. You guys are actually crushing likes already. We're at 112. So we're getting up there. We get to 150, I'll run the giveaway. I also do have some ideas for giveaways that I'm going to try to work on next week that I think could be fun. At least entertaining at the most. So I have different options besides just a bot doing the giveaway. Familiar, that's how a lot of people are, because the NQ volatility gets them. And there's nothing, if you are good at trading NQ and you like the volatility and you mainly trade that, then yeah, keep rocking with it. I have nothing against the NQ. I just prefer trading the S&P over the NQ. And a lot of people do, and a lot of people would if they tried it versus the NASDAQ. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get something before stream ends. I could tell you, if we're sideways until like 9:20, I might call it. Call it a weekend. Because technically, today's our Friday. Also, chat, in case I don't mention it later, don't forget, tomorrow on Mitch's stream, 12:30, his birthday is Saturday. We need to blow up that chat, wishing him a happy birthday. Even though it's a day early, I don't expect him to stream on Saturday. So we got to blow up his chat with it. Got to show some love. Oh, Ollie, if I get degen mode, I'll trade. Like, there's occasionally times I'll trade the NQ. But if I get full degen mode, back before VIX was at fucking 22, whatever, I would trade like one NQ contract during Asia, sometimes like 15 micros. And I would just, it's my, NQ is my like fuck around ticker. Where if I want to just get a little degen and see if I can pass an account in a trade, stuff like that, or just try to get fundage, try to build a little bit more of a buffer, I'll go to NQ if I want. I already did UPOS. XB, don't yell at Streamlabs. That's why Streamlabs doesn't pick you, because you're mean to it. The bot knows all. Familiar, take it slow. 1 hour time frame. PT, yeah, I like the 1 hour time frame. I love the 1 hour time frame. Right now, that's part of the reason I wanted the consolidation, which we've gotten so far. We've just been basing around this area. Which YM and RTY don't look terrible. If we get a break, I mean, tell me ES to 470s tomorrow doesn't look good. Like, tell me that doesn't look like a absolutely fire move. Get this little broader consolidation in quotes. Get this to break that, whether this candle or the next candle, you get a broader continuation up towards 470s. Weekly on that hand would be a close at the weekly high, which at that point, I'm looking all-time highs. TCM, I feel like both would be on par with each other. Because if you're in a volatile markets are range bound. They're just wider ranges, which is what we've gotten a lot of in New York. This, I think it's easier to blow an account if you're not patient. But I feel like this price action is also a lot easier to be patient in than volatile. Because you see volatility, you see NQ ripping 600 points throughout the day. People get that FOMO aspect, which you guys know I don't love that word, but they get that FOMO aspect that they're missing these trades and they kind of FOMO into it. Where this one, people just boredom trade a lot of times. They didn't take a trade yet and they get interested. They're like, I want to be in something. I'm wasting time here, which part of trading is doing absolutely nothing, right? And that's just how it goes. But yeah, I mean, that's just, I think a lot of people boredom trade and blow accounts in this kind of price action. We're just understanding what you expect. Since the beginning of stream, this is exactly what we talked about. Just potential of a range bound session, and that is exactly what we have. I think it's pretty obvious that it's coming, and you just got to realize it's there. And then when it's there, you got to decide, do you want to trade the range or wait for the break? Wait, XP, we have a short week next week? What's next week that causes a short week? I know Father's Day is next Sunday. Is that next Sunday or this Sunday? I think it's next Sunday. Oh. Forget about that. So we do have a short week. Interesting. We'll have to see if we stream next Thursday then. Because some holidays we're streaming for, some we're not. Of course, futures. See you later, brother. Wait, so we have a short week and OPEC or quad witching the exact same week? Boring market, anything expected? GCX, I mean, I lean more to the upside. I wanted more of a pullback. I don't know if we're going to get it. So for me, it's going to be waiting till we're getting out of this range because the last thing I'm going to do is long directly into resistance. It can work. It can trend. It's not my A+ kind of setup and entry. So it's just sitting and waiting for me at the moment. Might get some nothings. We'll see. 25 more likes, chat. 25 more little thumbs up, and we're ripping the giveaway. And I know there's 25 of you that didn't like the stream. I know there is. Aaron, now you see why I talk about trading ES. You've been in traffic for 40 minutes sitting in ES long. I've never once come close to getting wicked out or scooped up, and you scooped up $400. Beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. There's going to be times where you get the potential of getting wicked out, but NQ or ES just isn't as volatile in NQ on the lower time frames. It's not. Getting crushed today? Trading bot, are you just trying to like scalp entries? No, Rye got nothing yet, brother. I mean, if you look at the charts, it's not a whole lot to do. Not a lot to do. Yeah, Christopher, I can see the continuation, especially on NQ. I just wanted it later. I wanted it like after stream for the most part. I wanted a consolidation into the end of stream. Maybe we find some type of entry at that point towards the end of stream and then get that move. I would have loved to see this pull back. Main reason, because that would give me the hourly conviction as well. Yes, we do have an hourly inside bar we broke above. If you took that, beautiful entry if it gets continuation. I would have loved to see us spike this, retest the open, show we're not getting below the open. Because now it does open the potential. If we do pull back at all, there's a chance it goes all the way back to the open to test that support. And it's not something I like the risk of at that point. So we'll see. Next 30 minutes is going to be a lot. We need to hold above 417s on ES to get continuation. We hold above 417s on ES. You get a stronger hourly close. Can easily look for that continuation higher. Smoky smoke. Love it, brother. See you later. First time on stream taught patience. Yeah. And I mean, I would, as much as I would love to just jump on this and yeet every potential setup I can, that's not how I trade. I would love to just throw money onto the chart for chat to give us a trade to be in, but I'd rather not force trades, right? That's not actually part of trading. That would be more for like entertainment aspects. Yeah, it was too scalpy. Trading bot, that's how it can get in this. Especially when you come from, like, you guys got to look at what we did. Obviously, if you're on NQ, there's decent moves happening. ES, there's not a whole lot. I mean, we are up 23 points off the open, which isn't bad. If you bought this low, you're up 17, which is good. But when you come from getting, why do I keep clicking that? Did they just put these question marks here? Because I've never clicked these before. When you come from getting, I'm losing my mind. Chad, I'm losing my mind. 115 point moves. There we go. Intraday, and then you get these stronger continuations as well. And now you're just sitting in this little bit of a range. It's a huge shift in the market. A huge shift in what the price action is currently giving us, and you have to adapt to it quickly. How many likes? 3 more. A lot of you guys want that giveaway today. Should have walked away sooner. Yeah. Just lost composure. A couple bad beats. And especially when you're getting this kind of when you're in this kind of range, the chance of you getting wicked out or simply spiked out is going to be higher. It just is. Today I got wrecked on MNQ wicks. Yeah. MNQ's known for that. I wonder how many people are stalking the likes now that we're close. We did it, guys. I'll open up the bot. I didn't even have it open yet. But yeah, if we do reject yesterday's high here on ES, I'd be beyond happy to not be in anything. Beyond happy, because that would just been another trap right there. Did Lamelli do his giveaway for 1 minute? Because that is just diabolical. Or was that the one I did on Jake's stream? It had to be Lamelli. Because I closed mine. That one was still open. Liz, I look back at chat and all I read is I love to twerk to relieve stress. What did I just look back to? I'm happy for you. Watch 500,000 people going to enter. Ali, it's what's gonna. If you notice, the views are gonna start to slowly creep up because the other people are coming in. XP, we got the duck soup coming. The high duck soup pivot on the 2 minute. No. Why did that not update? Why did that not update? Y'all just saw me type it. You did. Hello? There we go. Am I losing my mind or is this just not working? Chat, giveaway's not open yet. You'll see it in the chat. You will see it. No, I gotta go bigger. People are gonna miss it. People are gonna do it wrong anyway, so it doesn't matter. But hang on, let me catch up on chat real quick. All right, nothing. You guys just want the giveaway. Got it. All right, chat. Giveaway's open. Let it rip. All you got to do, exclamation mark, enter, and you'll be entered. Simple. Ali, I was about to correct it, and then I saw it was you. You motherfucker, Ollie. Yeah, 5 minutes, chat. Yeah, 5 minutes. With that, though, I'm taking my normal 30-second break. So I'll see you in 30 seconds. Did you guys all get in yet? How many people got in? Let's see. 105. You guys are cruising today. It's probably the best percentage we've had in a minute. You guys still have 3 minutes. Well, that's a lot of extra time. Oh well. If you don't get in, you guess you don't deserve it. Yes, you can end it. Crypto, I'm not going to end it just because you got in. That's not how this works. All right, let me see what this does. I wanted to view. Am I still on YouTube? Yes. Okay, perfect. While you guys are popping off in chat, I'm trying to look to see how we do sub-only mode. Interesting. Interesting. Nope. Oh, dude, I found the list of hidden users. Holy shit, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the Shadow Realm. There is quite a few people in the Shadow Realm. Holy shit, I didn't realize there's that many. We have popped off a little bit with that one. Wait, where's it at? I know there's... Why don't I see Emily? I was going to go in and just unban Emily. Is Emily still blocked? Yeah, Kev. I actually just found her name. Should I just randomly unblock Emily? Yeah, 15-minute is rejecting up here, so that's why I'm happy I'm not in anything. We could still see that pullback into the open, which would look nice later. Yeah, should I do it, chat? I doubt she'll ever comment again. I don't know if that's... Because wasn't there a bunch of stuff on her name? Dude, there is a lot of people who got rocked. My God. I didn't know there was this many trolls. Guys, I unbanned Emily. Fatima, that's like first week of stream. What up, Trade? How you doing? By the way, guys, Emily is back. Jake doesn't know it yet, but she's back. Can no longer enter. Pick a winner. MP Trades NQ. Are you here? She's going to come back tomorrow. Elder, could you imagine if I do it like this whole time? She's just been typing in chat, but no one can see her. And then she finally just goes off. MP, have you won before, brother? AXP, I told you it's because you shit talk the bot. You can't be disrespectful to the bot. Best stream on YouTube. Appreciate you, brother. Ollie, imagine she wins the giveaway. Has he won? Yeah, he won because he's here. No, not yet. Perfect. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. Let me know when you send me a DM so I know it's you. XP, you can't disrespect the bot, brother. You can't. The bot knows all. His name too familiar. IDK suspicious. Gamma, the one thing people don't know is after someone wins my giveaway, like after stream, I go in and check the giveaways. I check all of the winners to make sure they have not won before. And if they have, they ain't winning. They ain't winning. Liz. Liz, you gotta lock it the fuck in. These cheeks clapping, they ain't using hands. All right, then. What happened to alphabetical order stream bot? All fucked up. Top pick ES, hell yeah. Yeah, like we talked about though, on the hourly, if we got back below 417s, that is not what we want to see. That is why I wanted to see the test below the hourly before we tested above. Now we tested above, not in love with it. Not in love with longs at the moment. We could easily pull back to the open, possibly a little bit more, and then it'd just be a wide ass range. Appreciate you, MP. Yeah, MP, just let me know when. Wait. We have. Hang on. There's MP trades NQ and NP trades ES. What are the chances those names are just that similar? That seems odd. But anyway, MP, let me know when you shoot me a DM. Rigged. I'm not saying it is. It just seems sus. If I go in there and see NP trades ES as one, bots? No, it wouldn't be bots. If anything, it'd be alts. But it could just be a little coincidence. Gold little break below the open. MP trades GC. FaceTime them. You want me to FaceTime every single person? FaceTime both of them. So you want me to FaceTime someone that didn't win? Where's your IG? 1 second. It'll pop up in chat in 1 sec. If you're just on Instagram, it's Ron G Trades. Or Wrong Trades. Both work. Chad, if we sit in this range, it might be a shorter stream. It might be. Because we're just not fucking moving. Full port the range. So you're saying, like, trade the range, full port short right now, right this second? Chat, you guys had anything? I know there's a few earlier who probably still in longs if you were in them or got out. Yeah, Gator. I fully agree. It's going to. We've anticipated the range since the beginning of stream, so I'm happy with it. Yeah, TCM, it is. Technically, it is a 5-minute uptrend, but it's range. We haven't even broken yesterday's highs on ES. I mean, we wicked above it, but that's it. Needs a breather after 160-point rally end of day today. Elder, what are you watching for a retest of? Gator, you want to know what's crazy? Well, how far did NQ move on this? So yeah, this move is diabolical, obviously, because it happened in 10 minutes. But that's one of the smallest intraday moves we've had this week. If you look at yesterday, it moved 800 points. We look at the day before, we moved 1,600 points. Like, that's the craziest part. This 600-point rally, obviously it rallied more than that, right? Probably upwards around like that 800, 900 area, about 1,000. But this rally is the smallest rally of the week. Broad term, though, from highs to lows, it's only the second largest move this week. Ali, at some point, the market is going to chill and it is going to crush a lot of people. It is. Tomorrow, we have a very strong weekly candle. Actually, I can do this. Where's my Discord? Because I just posted this. Un momento. This is what I was looking at on ES. I put it in Discord at the end of the day. So it just depends on the overall supports and resistance we have. If we can get over this 74.20s and get a strong continuation, then we have a lot of upside targets we can start to look towards. If not, tomorrow can be more of a sideways consolidation day to close the weekly at more of that neutral aspect, where there's an upper wick, lower wick, and more of a small body. And at that point, this is just a very, very large digestion week, which is what it is. But I'm not like over eager to be like, yes, I'm looking to full pour longs tomorrow, or I'm looking to full pour shorts. To me, it's more of a reserve day. And what I'm going to pay a lot of attention to is the 4 hour going into tomorrow. If we consolidate here into tomorrow, then we may be able to get that continuation. But if it's just shop range where we're getting breakouts, big reversals, breakout, big reversal throughout the rest of the overnight, then I lean more towards just an unfavorable trading price tomorrow. I'm not excited about like tomorrow's price action. I'm not like, hell yeah, this has to go up to, what was it? 74.70s. I would love to. If we get over today's highs and get continuation, that would be my target. But if we don't do that, then I have low expectations. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we just talked about the volatility we've had this week. There's going to be a cool-off day. There is. It happens every time. We get an extraordinary amount of volatility, and then we just start to chill out for the most part. All it takes is one day for us to sit in even a 400-point range on NQ, and people are going to get crushed. Because VIX is that aggressive. We're pricing in larger moves, and that's just how it's going to go. Doesn't have to happen tomorrow, though. Yeah, SpaceX IPO definitely provide volatility. It will. I'll be really interested to see what that does. I have a fun question for you. Why do you think we stair step up then take elevators down? Bearish charts can be fun because of how fast charts come down. TCM, the main reason for that, as we're bear stepping up, as we're taking those small steps up, we're looking to find that resistance. I mean, look at today. For this example, we're trying to figure out where exactly the resistance is and where sellers are either going to be strong enough to push us back over and overtake the bulls, or bulls are going to be able to break up. They're testing how strong selling is, right? Where the orders are. Get this rally, reject back lower, come back up, test. And it's just these slow, methodical grinds up to where when we finally get that resistance and sellers start to flip it, we get a stronger potential move back lower. And also, one of the biggest aspects is fear. People are always greedy. They love to hold the longs. They love to buy the dips, get that move higher. When you get fear, actual genuine fear in the market, you get massive sell-offs. That's why the downside moves are typically larger than upsides. Also, shorts are a lot more fun because of the volatility increase. If you catch a good short with a good VIX increase, you will print. MP, did you not have an Instagram before? Yeah, agreed, AXP. Yeah, I'll get you the code right after stream. Looks like the short thesis down to the open might work. All chat sus. Daddy Gabe, that on a broader perspective, yes. But in like just a day move, something like this, people aren't usually getting margin called. Because that type of pullback isn't going to margin call a lot of hedge funds. When you get crazy volatility like this is when hedge funds get close to getting margin called. But no, you're right. What up, MP? Just based on structure. And it's part of the course that we have in the Discord. But just look at the overall structure. We're making higher lows or lower highs, right? We're making higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, lower lows. That'll tell you the structure. Pick a time frame you want to base your structure off of and ride with that. For me, it's the 4 hour. Yeah, XP, I'm looking forward to next week. Especially after seeing how this week closes. I'm interested in that. The one thing I don't love is I really wish we tested last month's low. We were that close, and I really wish we got there. We were 32 points away. And I don't think it's out of the question at some point we go sweep that. CRWB in the NASDAQ 100 now. Nice. Short off the gap made up for working Memorial Day. Love it, 1 HP. Yeah, I think shorts can play out towards the open. I'll take a little stab for the fun of it. Worst case, I get stopped. So I took a little ES short or MES short there, just to see if the 5 and 2 minute break. I have smaller risk on it, 250 on that. I mean, you guys can literally see the P&L. This is gonna be the only trade I take. It's basically just trading the range. We rejected off the highs, see if we can get the continuation back towards the low of the range. I think we have potential for it. What are you trading? MES? Abraham, you can see it right here. But I am in MES shorts. I'll have to throw like net position on there at some point, so that way it shows like minus or plus. Bro, if you had 8 micros on MNQ, your P&L would not be that stable. AXP, why do you think I trade MES? Why do you think I trade MES? I like stability in my trading. I like being mentally sane and not want to check myself into a psych ward. What do I have that? 825? Let me raise that up a little bit. I don't plan to move stop on this one. It's 1.8 R. It's nothing crazy. So I plan to just let it work. With 8 MNQ? Oh, dude, 100%. I mean, if you take this same trade on NQ, you're talking 100 points. That would be double the P&L of what ES would provide off the exact same move. Now, chat, let's see if we can get a little short trade to end the week. Gold's getting a good push. Got the 5 minute push lower we want. What we don't want is to see the 5 minute get bought back up above like 410s in the next 20 seconds. We want to see it hold lower. I didn't even realize I got in at the Tokyo Open. Good entry. I mean, gold shorts too. Beautiful. Yeah, gold looks good. It's just crazy how weak gold's been. If gold rejects on this 4 hour, it can get some decent continuation. It can. She might. AXP, your first stream when you talked about the 1,000-point NQ drop, yeah, I thought you were delusional. I didn't want to ban you, but I thought you were delusional. I think there was a point. It was some comments you made where we were trying to figure out if you were trying to troll or not. I'm glad we didn't. You know, that's why I give people time. But yeah, you were talking about a 1,000-point drop. I'm like, this dude is just delusional. And then it dropped like 600 points. And I was like, you know what? Maybe he knows a thing or two. Maybe he's onto something. Ban him anyway. I'm in, Eldred. The second what we're going to do is we're going to wait till like AXP's almost guaranteed to win a giveaway, and we're just going to time him out for 24 hours. Tinfoil hat insider trading. To be fair, he trades anticipating Trump tweets a lot, so he might be the insider. Yeah, A. Miller, what I would probably do is I have half of my position set to trim at target. At that point, I would move stop break even, see if it continues or if it just gives me a 1R total. That's what I'm willing to do on this one. Bro, I would go to Streamlabs HQ. AXP, after your day-to-day, you might as well just become an investor. Just pick it alphabetically and put your name at the top. We got banned out, go to the HQ. Good work. Damn, Miller. You sniped that top. Yeah, you shorted yesterday's highs. You traded the range well. I was debating moving it up to like 400, but I'm going to front run the stop or the open versus front running 400. But yeah, I have half my position planned to get out at target. Changing my name to Ish. The funny thing is when I was going to enter this trade, I was finger on the trigger debating just ending stream. But I decided, fuck it. It's our Friday. Might as well put some risk on. We waited 2 hours. Might as well. But no, so now at this point, what we just did is we came down and tested this little low, which is obviously the low of the later part of the Asia session range. We need to see acceptance below this. Because if not, we continue to range around here and stop might get hit. And I might lose 250. Yeah, Ollie, I was like, at the time, I was like, there's really not a potential. And then what I was doing is on my left or my right monitor, I had the 2-minute up because that's what I have on Tradeovate. And I started to see this little consolidation because I didn't take this one, but I started to see this and I was looking for that break right here to give us that technically like 3-bar play, but it's a 2-minute, so it's unconventional. We'll see if we get the target though. We have NQ testing yesterday's high. We have ES spiking this low. We need to lose that low. 2 minutes still fine. Might build a little bit of a range. If we reject off like 408s, we can hold. If we get back above 408s, likely take a stop. Nice trade, 1 HP. Sorry, chat. I was typing in Discord real quick. Trying to figure some things out. Still think volatility is going to last till end of summer. AXP, it makes sense. It does. When you look at like the monthly chart, I don't think we're just going to get one little candle and then kumbaya on the monthly. It makes sense to give us like Q3 hell in all reality. Especially looking at the 3-month chart. I mean, if we get continuation, cool. But I personally just anticipate more of like a Q3 kind of hell perspective. That's my outlook on the broader scale. Agreed, AXP. But also, like, it's chill. Summer can be chill while just being extremely volatile. We can build a big ass range, which we've already done. See if we can get this little 5-minute unconventional 3-bar play. That plays out, we should get down towards the open. 400 might put up a little bit of a fight, just a psychological number there. I'd like to see us test the open, which is why I'm front running just in front of it. So ideally we get a weaker 5-minute close here. Break of the lows would be phenomenal to give us that push in the next like 10 minutes. 15-minute close as well. So we really don't want buying pressure. So if we get buying pressure back above that 408, 409 area, which is just this little resistance here. If we get back above that, it could be a 15-minute failure to go lower. Might invalidate it. I think we'll have a bearish summer. I think summer's just going to be volatile. I don't think this volatility is going anywhere, personally. Even though they keep talking about like peace agreements, I'm more of a I don't believe it till I see it kind of thing. Engrave, you talking about AXP? Because if so, yeah. Stops at what? 16? Yeah, GCX. I am. Yeah, Ollie, I have no reason to believe he didn't. $490. Yeah, he didn't make 500. He made 490. Get it right. What we'd want to see is us push up towards our open, reject there, get a 2-minute fail to go higher, but it's not looking like it. Looking like the 15 is going to close stronger. Lower wick might hold this low right here and end up heading up towards the stop on this one. That's just light work for AXP, you know. Normal day in the office. Anyone watching UFC this weekend, by the way? In 3 minutes, not even one day. AXP, did you have like out of the money contracts for it to move that much? Me? Hell yeah, Poison. Hell yeah, Logie. I'm interested to see what they do outside. Because it's going to be humid, dude. Is he verified? Brother, I don't need to verify chat. I don't. My look on it is, even if, let's say he didn't and he wants to claim he did, cool. I'm not going to call people out in chat. It's more of just like, I look at it from an optimistic way versus like a pessimistic, you know? When it was 696 on the Qs. But no, just based off of how AXP's been in chat, I believe it. I have no reason to doubt it. 696. So you got in on this little retest down here. Rode it up, probably went a little red right here, and then holy shit bar. Hell yeah, brother. What even was that on the cues? Yeah. Because I feel like also, XP, you pay attention to gamma, right? I feel like when we were sitting in this kind of range consolidation for a while, the expected move on the day lowered a decent chunk. So they probably weren't pricing anywhere near that move. And then when it happened in 30 seconds, you're just going to get an exponential ROI return. Brazil game this weekend? Yeah, World Cup's this weekend too, right? Order flow and gamma together. Isn't order flow basically just gamma with volume mixed in? Mitch was talking about it today. Logie, which fight? Could be. Yeah, David, we're just paying attention to see if there's lower high sets up. Like we talked about, 2 minute, what do we want to see? We wanted to see it spike this high and fail right around our entry. Exactly what happened. If it continues to happen, we're chilling. I'm not worried about it at all. Logie, you talking about Taporia? Because I feel like there's two answers there. There's the nostalgia answer, and then there's the logical answer. I feel like nostalgia, a lot of older fans are going to want Gaethje to win. But just by statistics in general, I would be shocked if he beat Taporia. Yes, Gaethje's a dog, but also he got knocked out and beat by Max Holloway. I mean, Taporia is a different animal when you're talking that. Taporia, he is a different animal. I mean, he hands down, he's the most dominant champ in the UFC right now. Divorce too, big mad, dude. Big mad. But no, the fight that I'm interested in is Pereira Gane. Because it's just going to be how slow is Pereira. Even though his power is going to be insane. Poison, I'd be shocked if those odds are even close. I'm going to slam Taporia's money line because there's no reason for them to be. And it hurts to say. It does. We're also talking about the man that on one of his fights, some people don't know Taporia. Obviously, a lot of people don't know UFC. The night before one of his title fights, he threw a celebration party for his victory. The night before the fight. That is insane. Yeah, MP, that's the fight we're talking about. Pereira does look unhealthy. He looks fucking thick, dude. XP, I don't think it's that people they don't understand your position. It's an unfathomable amount of money to most. And and it's the same thing with like Jake. Because if you watch Jake trading in the morning, if Jake's either losing $5,000 or he's up $20,000, the chat goes ballistic because it's an unfathomable amount of money for them to make or lose. And that's when they start really trying to tell him how to trade. But if he's risking like $1,000 on a trade or making $2,000, they don't go crazy. So it's just that it's the different perspective there that I think gets a lot of people to where it's like unbelievable. So we got the 5-minute close we want. Let's see if we can rug the floor real quick. Because if we get the trim, I'm calling it a stream. I'm going to end it right there. Yeah, Miller. And that's just because a lot of people are used to social media, right? A lot of people are also used to prop firms where their profits don't really matter. And it's if they can get a payout or not. Plus the average person as well. If they work a 9 to 5 and make $300 a day, that's a good day for them. You know, that's how I was. And then you get to a point where money's just a number. And yeah, I'm not wealthy by any means. I don't have a shitload of money by any means, but I'm still completely numb to like P&L aspects just because of trading. You just look at it from an ROI perspective in general. Like when I had my biggest day ever, it literally did not impact me mentally and it was weird. All right, Chad, there's a little rug we wanted. Let's see if we can get the continuation. We came down into 400, which we said might put up a little bit of a fight. But let's see if we can get a quick break of 400. So we just had a little bit of buying pressure around 400, which was expected. It's also kind of cool talking about all of this. How we initially talked about the hourly, and then if we broke back below that, it would set up a potential for a short. Then we talked about the entry. Then during this consolidation, we talked about the exact thing we would want to see on the 2-minute to happen. We wanted to see this little spike higher into our entry for that rejection to give us conviction. Got that exactly setting up. Saw a little bit of support at 400 so far. We're fighting 400 exactly as we anticipated. Now we just got to see if we can get that little bit of a break. Hell yeah, Poppy. Can I hold for lower prices? Silky, you can do whatever your heart desires, my man. Whatever your heart desires. We'll see how aggressive the buyers are at 400. That's going to be important. Because if we end up getting back above like 406s, this might just be more of a range completely. We might not get that test down here. Yeah, TCM, I'm going to be taking out half of my position down here and then just trailing the rest, seeing what happens if we get it. Cool. Silky, I always recommend that. Not the break-even aspect, but build a trade plan around how you want to trade. Build a trade plan exactly how you want to do it. Even if I'm going to trade, never blindly follow me. Don't recommend it. We'll never tell someone to. Hell yeah, Poppy. Love it. Anthony, what do you mean? What is it at? My take profit. If you guys look on the right side, I don't know if you can see it. If you zoom in, you can. Where these little highlighted numbers are going to be the numbers. So entry was 409.75. Target is 398.25. Stop is 416. Hell yeah, Zay. All right, give us a little push lower. Just a little push. See you later, AXP. Going to the beach house this weekend? AXP, you mean you're buying a new beach house this weekend? Coronitas? Hell yeah. Where do you want to see it go down to? Logan, it's going to depend on what we do, right? If we look more so at the hourly, this is a beautiful rejection on the hourly or the 30-minute chart. If we get below the open and we get a more aggressive close on the 30-minute, I would anticipate a push below that, right? Because even if you want a long, I would want to see a spike below this candle if it closes down here. So we may get a little bit more of a leg down where we might be able to see 90. For me though, I plan to not just close at a certain area. I'm going to try to trail runners based off probably the 5 or 15-minute structure. Main reason is because look what we got going on the 4 hour. We came up into resistance, spiked the highs, yesterday's high as well, pushed back lower. If we want to build more of a range, this can see more of an aggressive push. If it breaks 90, you have room down to that 65, 60 area again. I'm not saying we get there, but I'm not going to force out of this position if it wants to continue. Chat, I'm going to throw a runner's break even. You can see I got half contracts left, got out half. Gorgeous little trade. Hell yeah, Carrie. Yeah, my stop is now break even on the runners. So worst case on this trade, I end up making 1 hour off of it. It only took us two hours to find a trade, but this is why we're patient, you know? This is why we wait. Could have got stuck in this chop over and over. I'm sure a lot of people did, especially trying to long. Initially, we wanted the long. Wait for structure to give you confirmation. It started to give us that reversal confirmation because we didn't get the pullback to the open we wanted, which open potential up for shorts for that pullback we wanted to the open. We talked about the open for the last 2 hours, and we finally got it. So patience goes a long way, guys. Goes a long way. Close 450. Hell yeah, Logie. Chat, how many people took that short? Or not even that short, a short. And it doesn't even have to be off me showing a trade. Also, let me end this poll since that was 2 hours ago. Probably should have ended it earlier. Hell yeah, chat. Nice little way to end the week. Now we see if we can get runners. Because now we're looking for, see if we can get 90. See if we can get another 10 points out of it. If we get below 90, we're breaking this structure. Where would I be interested in shorts down to? The prior consolidation area we've been talking about. We have last week's lows at 60. If it wants to give us more of that reversal wick on the weekly chart, to give us more of that neutral bar we talked about, I don't know if you guys remember the analysis I put on screen. If we get that pullback, if we can't get over 74.20s, there's a chance we build more of a consolidation, potentially that neutral weekly chart. And this was posted a few hours ago. If we get that, that opens more possibility of this being a little bit of a larger pullback. In case we hold, I'm taking one more, and I'm going to leave 3 going. So I took off 5 out of 8 of mine, and I'm leaving 3 with the stop at break even. Hey, Miller, you mean inverted hammer? We still have 30 minutes. That can change. It can. 30-minute candle just closed, right? We have this. That 4 hour can easily pivot back up. 15-minute can hold. Remember, the biggest thing when we're in volatile times, focus on structure, not so much the candles. Yes, this candle's bearish. We have reversed these candles a lot lately. I believe we did it just last night. No, that one kind of wicked lower. I don't know. We've done it a few times on the night sessions this week. We can push back higher. It's not out of the question. For me, though, stop is sitting here. If we hit it, I'm out. Yeah, 1 HP. We did on the 4 hour. I think there's opportunity for either direction here. I'm willing to take the break even stop, because if it is, market's holding strong, market's holding healthy. And if you were interested in longs and you bought them off the open like we talked about before, that'd be good for you. But yeah, I'm just going to let runners do their thing. I think for now, though, I might call it a stream. Might wrap it up for the week. Yeah, because I mean, if we get a 15-minute inside bar that doesn't break this low, could look for a 3-bar play on the 15, which would be beautiful. Because big thing we're going to pay attention to, if anyone's still holding runners at all, is how this hourly closes. Hourly gets back above. Now, here's a few important things to note. Hourly gets back above 406.50. We have an hourly failure to go lower. Our stop is, my stop at least, is just above that. So if we get above that, I'll be stopped out, which in that case, we would have an hourly failure to go lower. So it would invalidate the thesis for a continuation and get me out of the trade. Taporia, you're going to KO Justin. Agreed. Agreed. Are you going to catch this World Cup game, Zach? Probably not. I'm not a big soccer guy. I just never grew up around like big soccer communities or anyone that really watched soccer. It does, 1 HP. It does. I'm in longs, but in drawdown. If you took longs off the open, I could see the thesis. If you're trying to buy the support, the Asia session lows that we just swept, I could see a thesis. Personally, I'd like to see us go lower, but also if I get stopped out, I hope it works for you. Manuel, it can go either way. We're at support. If support holds, we can go right back up to the highs. We're in the range. Biggest thing, most important thing there. From the beginning of stream, we talked about possible longs off the open. We just never got to the open. And then we took the short into the open in which longs could set up. So now we're at a point, it could hold this support and push higher, or it could base around this support on a 15-minute inside bar and get that push lower. So it's kind of a could either way, and we're just chilling. Eldred, by the way, chat, since I am wrapping up soon, want to make a few notes. Eldred, mine is Tuesday. My birthday's Tuesday. But Mitch's birthday, Saturday. If y'all can make it 12:30 on stream, even if you just hop in real quick, because he doesn't know I'm doing this unless he's lurking. But if you could just hop in real quick, tell Mitch happy birthday on his 12:30 stream. Show him a little love. Hit him with it. Show him the RT love. But yeah, so that's important to know. Other than that, Alan streams at 1. Happy 60th. Tell him that. But yeah, so Alan streams at 1. Obviously, y'all know normal schedule. Most of y'all are probably there. Man crushes it numbers wise. Fucking phenomenal. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. See you later, Jello. Seeing P&L on my screen is messing with my head, but I like to see the lines where my entry, stop, and target are. Can I just the dollar value part? Zach, what are you trading on? Let me answer this question first. Trading view with TradeAway. Yeah, change your P&L to ticks, and you'll be able to hide it. And then you'll be fine. I don't know. Oil's fighting the open here. We might hold. I'll risk my $100 in runners. See if it does or not. But with that, chat, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm going to hop off. We got a long weekend. Technically, it's our Friday. But yeah, y'all have a good rest of your night. I will see, obviously, you guys in the other streams tomorrow. With that, though, I'll be back Sunday. So talk to y'all later.